Hey everybody, welcome to season 2. You got your boy Sidious and your gal Des getting ready for season 2, episode 0 of Streamer and Troll. How do you make a podcast? Let's go now.
Yay!
Yeah, boy.
Your boy.
Hey, your boy's here. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We were complimenting the animation, Sid, while we were doing the intro there. It's really nice. I like it.
Oh, thank you.
I like the fact that I'm like Mater. I can just fly backward without looking. Like it's nothing. It's no problem at all. I like it.
Hey,
I like it.
You're a big fine host when you back that thing up, okay?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Hell yeah. Gotta make them cheeks clap. Anyway. Everybody, welcome to season 2 of Streamer and Troll. As we mentioned, we are going to be talking today about how do we do a podcast. One of the things that happened last year is that we ended up having some episodes, you might say, we pulled out of our backside and just kind of made things up as we went along. Season 2, we want to be a little bit more focused since we've kind of worked out the kinks of communicating with each other and all that kind of good stuff. And we thought, what a better way to have a podcast that's informative about topics in streaming, topics in creating videos and podcasts, than to make episode 0 of the new season exactly that, going through a new process that we're going to try out for this upcoming season that hopefully will excite you and delight you. As always, my name is Zealous Mark II. Apparently I am emo vampire boy of the group. I'm not sparkling today. I left my glitter.
I don't know what you're talking about. You look very sparkly today.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Joining me with his amazing man voice today, we have Sidious67. Sid, how you doing, buddy?
Happy Halloween, Oktoberfest, everybody. Hello. I am hyped. I'm here. It's season 2, episode 0.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And we are also joined by the oh man, I can't think of something that rhymes with Dame other than Damascus, but Damascus isn't what we deal with, but perhaps some cobalt blue. We have Des West joining us, artist extraordinaire. How you doing, Des?
Yay!
Tired.
Tired. Why is that?
My sinuses are full of pollen.
Oh, I hear you there. I hear you there. My sinuses are pretty full as well, almost like a 1967 Ford. Anyway, so yeah, episode 0. Let me get the notes. My notes are gone.
What? We're starting
right,
off strong.
We are starting off strong. This is
The
Drunk.
link is in troll talk.
yeah, I'm getting it. But yeah, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go through just some notes we made earlier today about what do we want season 2 to be. What do we, where do we want to go with it? And one of the things that we're going to do this time is instead of us trying to create or choose a topic at the end of each episode, which is what we did last year, kind of, the idea was to keep things, fresh, keep it where we could talk about things that are, going on new in the seasons. That we're actually going to sit down and we're going to plan, 12 episodes, 12 topics that we want to talk about, so that we can have really specialized information. And it's not just going to be us, pontificating out of anything. It's going to be each of us has things in streaming that we're very passionate about, and it's going to be us sharing those with the viewers, as well as also taking time to talk about the newest topics in Twitch as well. So with that being the case, let's go ahead and I guess let's jump in. I know Sid. Sid, you came up already with like your 4 topics.
You told me to do something. I did it.
You did it. You did it, and I'm terrible at it. I only came up with one item, but for me to work through things like this, I have to talk my way through it before I get some of my best ideas. Like sitting down and just staring and being like, I know what I want to talk about, and willing it out of the ether just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
I mean, much like how I passed my college government poli-sci political science class, I BS my way through it. Little known fact: my political science class I never went to, and
really
passed with a B+.
How did you do that?
I took the final.
So 85% of the grade was the final.
The final was an essay question, 1 question essay, and I don't remember what the question was, but I BS'd my way through it and got a B+.
Okay, I mean, sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
So since you've got your 4 topics,
okay,
did you want to touch on them at all, as far as why you chose it? What's kind of exciting about it to you?
Well, sure, yeah, I can definitely do that. And as we're talking here, it might jog some cerebral juices flowing, so you guys can get some topics in there, or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the first one, first and foremost, and it's something that I've dealt with for several years, and this topic is now becoming more global across Twitch. Is the question is Twitch a safe environment? Is because of all these hate raids, the Haas bots and the other hate raids and such and so and so forth, and what can we do to combat those hostile environments? What tools do we have at disposal to help us combat these hate raids and such like that? So I think that's a really good topic to deal with, especially since it's at front and center on Twitch's subject matter in the first place.
I think that is great for top of mind awareness right now, because it is such a huge problem. I know Twitch is starting to come out with some tools to help streamers deal with that. I think that'd be fantastic stuff to go through.
And we'll talk a little bit more on that subject, but I feel that yes, Twitch has been slow to respond, but I feel that it's better to be slow and thought out rather than just put something out there to appease the masses. I mean, from how Twitch does handle their stuff, I don't have that much hope, but I mean, it's at least they're at least trying. So that does count. So
yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Most definitely. Step. Yeah, and they've released several new things, and we'll talk about that next episode. It'll be old news by then, but yeah, they've released another tool to help alleviate some of those follow bots. For those of you who don't know, they've added was it phone number authentication for streams, which I have not done for this stream. I need to go in and do that into our thing too. So that's a thing on my list here that I need to put on. Okay.
Yeah, they also added today, I think it was, I saw it or maybe it was yesterday, that you can also make it where for people to talk in your chat, the account has to have existed for a certain amount of time.
Yes. I like that idea a lot.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll go more in detail on that episode.
Yeah.
The next subject that I brought up, I mean, it's something close and dear to me as well, because I mean, growing up as a streamer, I struggled a lot with, and it's not something that you really think about in the first place. And we touched on the subject in some of our other episodes just briefly, but I think we can go a little bit more in depth. Back to audio. mixers, microphones, and the toils and troubles of actually dealing with audio, because audio is a fickle beast. And what you think, especially when I started getting into mixers, what I thought, were simple input output, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was a whole new world, and a whole new just stress. And hopefully, for those of you who are wondering about mixers and how to hook those up, we can probably maybe try to alleviate some of that stress too.
Oh yeah, and definitely understanding the difference between what your microphone is and how it works.
Yes.
Whether you've got a dynamic or you've got a condenser, what does that mean? And even some recommended based off a couple different price points. I think that's going to be a great episode.
Yeah, and then I mean, again, I don't have these in order, Zealous, so we can move
that's
these
fine.
topics
Yeah,
around. Another topic that that I they always say write what you know, and so these topics are figuratively are basically what I know, especially for streaming and to help for streamers. Single computer for stream or dual PC? What are the pros and cons of having a single and a dual? There are pros and cons on both ends, so I think that's something cool to touch on, and the toils and struggles of setting up a dual stream as well. Doing that. And then I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, my last subject that I came up with is how to make your stream look pretty. Looking pretty.
Pretty.
Yeah,
Just like our stream today with the Halloween theme.
I mean, granted, I kind of slapped this together. But it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. There's several things that I've learned. I mean, it's been several years, but I've learned a little bit from. I have an AS degree in graphics and design, so part of which, I mean, a majority of which of that training was learning about how to set up magazines. And magazines are a great source of information on how to appease the eye. So because that's what magazines are there for. That's their job, is to catch your attention. And it's like one of the things that we had to do was in my class was come up with a design for a van. And the whole subject matter of that is advertisements need to hold your attention for 3 seconds, tops. 3 seconds.
Right.
3 seconds will sell that product. So it has to be quick, easy to read, easy to understand, pleasing to the eye, and hold your attention. So there are several tricks that I can probably cover topics on, and then as well as websites and places to find content to add to your stream as well.
That ties into so many of the topics that kind of fit into me, especially that 3 second decision.
Because that's also like 3 to 5 seconds. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because that's how fast you're driving past something. So you need something to catch your eye, but also not dangerous enough to take your eye off the road and crash into something, too. So
right.
The same thing goes with billboards. It needs to be 3 to 5 seconds attention grabbers.
Well, it goes into stream too. I mean, just the whole thing with stream, people pop in, and within 3 seconds they made a decision if they're going to try to watch you or not.
Absolutely.
And they're taking the whole gamut of how does the stream look, how does the audio sound, how's the quality of what you're playing, or what you're playing. Those decisions are made very quickly, and I think that 3 second rule is going to be very relevant across a number of potential topics and episodes.
Absolutely. So those are my topics that I've come up with.
I think you got some really good stuff. You got some really, really good stuff.
Now you just got to do some homework. Damn it.
Well, Des, do you want to go through any ideas? Do you want to?
We can hash it out, talk it out. I know you may have not come up with some, or you may have.
Did you have any clear rod ideas on what you were thinking of, or?
I have not come up with any clear ideas yet.
Okay.
I've been putting a lot of my mental effort into some other aspects of our show, so
yes,
I haven't spent a lot of time yet
Okay.
really zoning in on these, like, what's a specific topic I would want to take the lead on.
Okay. No, that's fair. We got time. I know for me, the stuff that I get really passionate about is a lot more of the internal questions that we have to ask as streamers, such as I'm really passionate about the thought process of why, of really thinking about your, not just the design of the stream, everything like that, but really thinking of your presentation on stream, and like, what do you bring to the table? Why, if you're streaming, have you asked the question, why should people watch you? Like, what do you bring to the table there?
Does your
I think,
milkshake really bring all the boys to the yard?
yeah, damn right, because it's better than yours. Boom, slam dunk. Thank you very much. um I think that's something that but I think that's something that's really, those kind of skills are that I'm very passionate about.
Mhm.
I think it would also be fun to work on how to build that talking muscle, where
There you
it's
go.
either where you're talking to, where you're talking to yourself. How much of it can you keep, how do you keep the train going? We were talking earlier, Des, and we mentioned how a lot of this show is very improv, where it's us reacting to what the other person is saying, and having some boundaries set out while we're doing the show. That I think is also a crucial skill that a streamer can watch and develop within themselves, of how to improv through a scene, and just basically rolling with the punches.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun facts for you in the audience: we are at this time, we're going to be making some notes during this episode, so
Yeah.
there will be some. You're going to hear some typing. There's going to be some note taking opportunities that will be like, oh, we need to write this down right now. This is part of the zero part of the episode, where we're really wanting to put a lot of thought into stuff to come, so that we're bringing you guys much higher quality content and stuff that we think will be
Basically,
valuable.
we're being lazy and just letting you in on a behind the scenes thought process session.
Well, I don't think it's, see, that's the thing though, is I don't think I
Uh,
necessarily call this lazy. And I would almost be tempted to like let people look at art to say, can we pull up, the page, so we can kind of go through some of the formatting, or so people can kind of see what we're using and how we're collaborating. Because that's also a skill that we haven't, we've talked about on stream, of like working with each other on stream ideas. But I think we all struggle in some way, shape, or form when we're doing collaborative efforts
Mhm.
on how to make those, appealing, or how to make those more informative or more fun.
I mean,
Like, I know,
I can bring up
yeah,
the thing if you would like. Let me. It's gonna
I
go
think that
full screen, but then I'll reduce it down. So.
okay. No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I just
Ooh.
it's one of those.
the skull.
Jesus.
The skull's on the top.
It's okay.
I gotta fix that.
It's okay. We can just leave Brian there. He's cool. He has laser eyes, and we've got the feelings. So I mean, it's copacetic.
While this is full screen,
Yeah, exactly.
one of the things you're gonna notice is we are breaking down our episodes into as many smaller chunks as possible, as we define what segments mean and what we intend to be doing those times. There's not a lot of unaccounted for minutes.
Oops.
Not to say that we've scripted out exactly what we're going to say, but just to say that we have intent in every opportunity.
No, I
Yeah.
literally just closed it out.
That's fine.
I
Again,
couldn't
excuse the scuff.
I couldn't find my mouse, and I just clicked, and it just closed. I'll bring it back up here.
So yeah, that's one of the things that we early on started talking about when we first originally started imagining streamer and troll, was what kind of format were we looking for? There's a Deborah, she doffs her hat to us. F in chat for our channel notes. Um, one of the things we really talked about when we were getting started, though, was how do we see the format? You know, how do we want to have the show operate? How should it function? Part of that, I think, uh, that I personally really latched onto is I really like freeform, like the freeform open interviews where we talk about a topic and then we can ask open and genuine questions about whatever the topic we're talking about is. That's one thing that I was really passionate about. That was, you know, like it needed to have a lot of not so much improv, but open mindedness to what we're going over. Because as much as we're great friends, there are definitely some things that we end up not agreeing on time, not to point of causing conflict, but to the point where just being honest and open with each other, it it leaves room for us to to have the ability to share ideas without, you know, getting feelings hurt or anything like that.
Hmm.
The show itself, like I said, in my mind, was much is very open, relaxed. Here's the topic that we're going to talk about, and let's just go. And after going through the first season, rewatching some episodes, and some soul searching, this is kind of the decision that we, or kind of where we ended up in talking about it, was we all need, you know, while that's great to have those kind of impromptu and spontaneous ideas of what we're going to go over, that there definitely was a lack of clarity on a number of our discussions, or where we would get stuck in circle arguments
Hmm.
with our, like with ourselves or with each other, because we ultimately might all agree on a topic, and or maybe we all shared our feelings, thoughts, and emotions, but we didn't necessarily have the facts we needed to speak on a topic as an authority.
Hmm.
So this upcoming season, this is going to be our attempt to prevent those things from happening, to make it where it's a little bit easier for all of us to understand and work with, to have some clear cut topics. Who's going to be the lead troll on those topics? And so while we might say, hey, is Twitch a safe environment? That's definitely going to be something that I'm going to research into. But I think my role is going to be a lot more of coming up with good questions for either us to talk about and debate, or for Sid, who's going to be leading the charge on that, to hopefully help educate us on this a bit as well. So I think it's going to be an exciting format change. I believe it's going to get us to more in-depth and meaty discussions of what's going to be important to us, and take the show in a much more positive and directed style of show than it has been in the past. And with that, my monologue is complete for now.
Was there any other topics that you, off the top of your head, can think of there, Zealous?
I mean, so I have a lot of the things that I'm looking at, as I'm looking at like the two I have down here, are topics that I think are just subtopics that could be in there, just like how to keep the talk flowing and improv your way through stream. There's a subtopic in there about deciding, you know, does your stream, you know, what's the format your stream's going to follow?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be you just play the game and then this is the game you play and this is what you do? Are you going to break up and you're going to set up some fixed breaks in there? Are you going to invite friends in? You know, there's a lot of things that go into these decision making processes that I don't know if they're necessarily an individual's, like individual episode links. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with. My thought processes on is really identifying what is something that could be brought into those discussions versus what could be its own individual episode. And also, when you said, you know, write what you know, the part of the big problem I have with that too is, you know, the things I know might seem minor to me, and I don't know if they're going to be major things for someone else. So, to take something like, to have a I think a great discussion would be, um, how much, deciding, like how tough is it to decide how much of your real life do you bring into stream, or is your real life a completely separate topic?
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
just don't, like, you have your stream life. Stream life is only what people know about and you're willing to share. Or are you going to be the kind of person that goes in and talks about real life things going on, and being willing to open and share that with others? I know that can be a very big divide for some streamers.
That
And
kind of
I think
goes almost hand in hand with the topic of the VTubers that you're so uh, enthralled with,
well,
and interested in. And I mean, because I mean, technically VTubers do lead two lives, so that
yeah.
they're personal and then the on stream one with totally different
Well,
personas and stuff.
to an extent, but there are some VTubers who are now
Being more
I
natural,
don't,
being more.
well, like, so specifically Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse, who's one of the prolific VTubers right now, she has a lot of health problems, and kind of starting out, she really didn't talk too much about it. But now, in the past probably 6 months or so,
Mhm.
8 months or so, she's really been talking a lot more about her personal struggles with her health. She talks a lot more about her family, her parents, her sisters. So she's sharing, even though she is a VTuber, she's sharing a lot more in-depth details about her personal life. Then I can't remember the VTuber's name, but she recently had, or she's in the past couple months had an avatar made of her mom, and her mom will come on and stream with her, play games with her, or things like that. And so she's really bringing in information, like she's merging her personal life with her VTuber life.
It's really
Which
interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no,
Oh,
no, go on, go on, go
I
ahead.
was gonna. I'll finish when you. It's. I'm just saying it's really interesting in how we're literally witnessing a shift in how we deal with the internet, how we deal with social media, how we deal with
Mm-hmm.
streaming. Because when the internet first came out, I don't know about you guys, but when I was first starting on the internet, it was, oh, you need to have a different identity. This is what you do. This is
Yeah,
why you do. Um, you need to protect everything. Don't give out your age, sex, or location.
yeah,
And then back on the, when we were just trolling around on like AOL chat and the Red Dragon Inn and on AOL chat and stuff like that. It's an interesting shift on how we go from like very conservative on the internet into being more open about it. And I think it's just
mm,
because as a society, we're becoming more and more comfortable and being on the screen and being in front of these monitors and basically just being more you in a more open way than we could have just being, walking outside and doing it. Just giving us
right,
a bigger platform. It's a very,
right.
very interesting shift that
I think
I'm witnessing.
I think you're 100% right there too. Is as we because on a scale of humanity, I don't think there hasn't been much to influence society in a form of a media and sharing of ideas. It all takes off and goes crazy with, like, first there was writing,
Mm-hmm.
right? After writing comes a printing press, where you can actually get books and everything into people's hands.
Faster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it gets much faster. And then we go to mail, express mail. We go to Morse code, and being able to forget what they used to be called, but they tap out Morse code, it goes over wires. Telegrams.
Yes.
You go to telegrams. We move to the telephone. We move to TV. And now we have, or go to movies, then you go to TV, then you go to live TV. It's a whole progression. And now we have the internet, and the internet is such an interesting tool because it really allows us to see into each other's minds in a way that previously we didn't have. Like the closest thing we had before this was live radio and like TV talk shows where it's two people sitting down and kind of talking, and it was live communication. Whereas the internet is very, but like in those examples, you're still relatively face to face talking to somebody,
right? Yeah.
And then we get to the internet where it's really just us sharing what's in our head. We understand that there are people out there in the world viewing our content, but most people just put what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And it really is a change that we're not, that we're going to end up adapting to. We've got to. And like you said, it's starting to become more acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really interesting, going back to the early days of the internet, where it's like you have an alternative persona that is, okay, this is the alternate persona. And the importance of having that with Twitch, of having that alternate persona, but making sure that person is you, just turned up to like 11.
Right.
Like the traits you want to express turned up to 11.
Yeah, and Titri adds in, I feel like the pandemic has also had a lot to do with the openness. And I think that's another chapter, a chapter in this whole progression. And it's just like, it's the other, it's just, you're absolutely right. It's making it more open because we are more isolated and being social distancing and, isolation and stuff like that. So I think it's, the start of the internet and the start of live streaming and stuff like that gives us the openness, and then the pandemic here, just opens it even more. We no longer socialize as we used to. Yeah, correct, exactly, Titch. Yeah, I absolutely correct. So yeah, it's an interesting. I think that's an interesting topic we can talk about. Actually, that would be a great topic. The differences between then and now would be a good topic. How we communicate. It's a good topic. I think we can go for freaking hours on that one.
I think so too. I also think that that those changes definitely affect Twitch because utilizing Twitch now as streaming and entertainment and information and content has changed radically than from where it actually started as well. So, like Twitch, trying to put on a Twitch stream now in 2021 is very different than 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like the what people's expectations are wildly different than what it was then. And then what's amazing though is the things that make you successful on Twitch haven't changed all that much. You just have to be so much better at them than you used to have to be.
Yeah, and the social content on Twitch is the way that it's changed so rapidly is amazing. The mere fact that
apologize for the dogs.
Hi, doggy. The mere fact that back then in 2017 it was like, here's my game, this is what we're doing, this is you're the viewer on the couch, this is how we're doing it, and then it's opened up to being more like, okay, well, here's my game, but let me talk to you about my political views. And then it's just become full out freedom of speech. That's it's a soapbox platform. It is. Yeah, everyone's using. I mean, there's still those streams that are like, here's my game, this is what I do. There's still that, but it's a much more broader subject now. Is where like, yeah, I want to have my voice heard too.
It's also become the single greatest advertising opportunity for hot tub companies.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think that'd be a good topic.
Hot tubs?
Or no, not hot tubs, but just
What-
thinking about
which hot
again,
tub is best for your stream. Check
Exactly.
out Streamer and Troll. We're gonna go over the best companies that make the best hot tubs.
We did 10 different streams using the best hot tubs available on the market. Which one's best for your needs?
Yo, it's your boy Streamer and Troll. We're gonna test out this new company, see if the jets are too loud for your stream or not, and see how much power it takes. Will it take off my streaming trunks? We don't know.
Guys, I want to talk to you today about our new sponsor, Elgato. Elgato came up with their new streamer tub. It comes with 3 key lights as well as 3 integrated camera systems that float on top of the water. All the wiring's insulated. Don't worry, you won't be electrocuted when you have the Elgato hot tub.
This just in response to the Elgato hot tub, Razer has bring out their own hot tub line, complete with RGB.
Except they don't call it a hot tub, they call it the spicy pool.
Spicy pool.
What about Valve?
Valve will be coming out with a shower head attachment later this year.
The Valve has the new portable. It's also called the Stream Deck, but it's the hot tub edition.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Soon they're gonna start advertising like waterproof camera lenses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you can get that hot.
Talking about getting derailed. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
We wouldn't be Streamer and
Instead-
Troll if we didn't get derailed from time to time.
But back to the topic I was thinking of was going over like how, talk about how Twitch has changed as far as what the expectation of the streamer is. I'm kind of curious, has the art sharing part of Twitch changed as well, Des, from
Well, if you guys didn't know this, there was no art section on Twitch at the beginning.
Yes.
It was exclusively a gamer-only platform, and one of the very first forerunners of that is a streamer that I watch. His name's C-Not Bush, and he was pretty much the first of his kind here on Twitch. He's a sculptor, and his story is really interesting. And so as far as has it changed? Absolutely, because it was an entire thing that was developed and created later on effectively. I think even since I've started streaming, the categories have changed significantly. The way that the tagging system works has changed significantly even in the last couple years.
it used to.
What's interesting that I just recently found out was that they haven't changed the tagging session on the mobile. It's still got some of the old topics that Twitch used to like when they first started, because
Really?
I tried to do like a just chatting or a IRL thing. It's not on there when I was at Universal Studios. I streamed directly through the Twitch mobile app. I couldn't find it. It's just a drop down box because it's all on mobile, so I can't type anything in. So that's
Right.
That's interesting. They haven't updated that.
I'm trying to think if I had something similar when I was streaming bowling. I think the only like categories I had were just chatting, sports, or something like that. But you're right, I didn't have any tags at all that I could actually pick.
Back in the day when I first started doing podcasts, the first one I did was called Geek Squad. There wasn't a category for chatting. And it was still in the terms of service where you had to be streaming a video game. Like it was, that was the print. Is like you must be showing a game. So most like our first podcasts were literally us chatting, and then one of us would be playing a game in the background, and it would be showing up in the background like the actual game. So we have the podcast with a video game in the background. So,
That's wild.
Such loopholes that we had to do, and hurdles that we had to jump through.
Man, I'll tell you again how the medium has evolved and changed.
Any of these thought process churning in your head there, Des? Any?
I only came up with one good idea
Okay.
so far.
Which was
I would hone in on mental health, burnout, and the self-care you should consider as a content creator.
That's very good.
I think that there's a lot of aspects to go into that. I know there's some rants I've gone on before and voice chats with both of y'all before, and especially when I'm discussing this with other content creators and other communities about this was triggered by something you said, Zealous, about the changed expectations and how much better you're supposed to be at something now to be seen or be respected in the craft. This is something I've deliberated on quite a bit, actually, because this is seen across the board in our society because of the increased access of information and communication. The best of the best are constantly being elevated to the eyes of everybody, and so we're given this false perception of what that percentage is of those who are doing quote unquote the highest quality work, whether that's in visuals, whether that's in music, or that's in the content creation here on Twitch or YouTube. We're being consistently presented with excellence, and so this gives us a warped perception of what is acceptable, but then also the reality of that makes it that much harder to excel.
Okay.
I think that would be a very fascinating conversation, one that I'd love to dig into. Like I'm already like got ideas right now of like questions to ask. I'm like, should I derail us just to dig into this a little deeper? Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Hey, yeah, it's simple answer for the burnout thing. Just do what I do. Just quit 17 times.
Just keep quitting streaming and planning to never come back.
And then come back.
And then coming back.
No, I think we've dropped a pretty good amount of time on the what's the plan, and we'll definitely fill in a few more blanks or maybe make some revisions as we go along too. Before we got a little bit of time before we hit our break, so let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that we have on this page here. We have a section of the what could we have done better, what are the weaknesses as a group and individually. Definitely one that I know I fell on quite a bit last season is forgetting about what I call the Smallwood method. One of my favorite YouTubers is a guy named Carl Smallwood, and he has a channel called Fact Fiend. And one of the things that they have talked about on the show, like they explicitly laid it out, was their goal and the way that they do the show is that they basically have two acts. They have Act 1 where it's the information, and then Act 2 where they're still putting out good information, but it's much more friends kind of hanging out, having a chat that you get to sit down and join in. And one of the things that I know I fell on entirely too much in season 1 was in Act 1 relying on our personal friendship and inside jokes to get a laugh, or being able to jump into an inside joke with chatters and with folks from our different chats that come in and watch. And it can go for a joke, it can be entertaining to the crowd, but if we're looking at this from somebody watching this at a later date as a podcast or as a YouTube video, that's something we definitely need, that I felt like I personally need to work on, and that of not leaning into that so much, because it's so easy to get a laugh on an inside joke, which I did very early in this episode without even thinking about it. And I kind of kicked myself afterward. I was like, did I really need to make the joke about the car? Did I? Probably not. And then the other thing too, I know I'm really bad about is when it comes down, and this is something too that we could put into an episode about. Maybe the next one, maybe I put it there as a 12th, as my fourth topic. Co-streaming is, no matter what we think of Twitch as a primary visual domain of us playing games, talking to the camera, and all those things, that audio is so important. And one thing that we can all get lost on is when we have multiple people hanging out, having a good time, that we can all have a habit of talking over each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that unfortunately is just as bad as having as having static in your audio,
Mm-hmm.
or your audio not coming through clearly while you're streaming or while you're watching a YouTube video. That's one of those things that makes people tune out so fast. And I think that's a definitely a thing that we've all got the punchline, and I'm the worst with always having trying to come up with a quick joke. But we really need to make sure that, or at least like I said, these are things that I think I need to work on too. But of course, it's all three of us, is making sure that we take the time, be respectful. Again, as always, let the person finish their thought and not just try to talk over them.
Right.
And of course, the person talking also has to be respectful to the fact that someone might have something they say they want to interject in, and being willing to relinquish that control, which I also know a few times I was not the greatest with in the last series, and the last series of episodes as well in the previous season. So those are my confessions.
Well, it's really difficult. I'm going to interject.
Yeah, go for it.
Speaking of interjecting, so especially if more than one of you are streaming, right? It's not just about the audio quality on one stream. If you're co-streaming to multiple channels as well, there are duties, if you will, of the streamer to their channel, right? They need to respond to chat if they get an alert because somebody has followed or subscribed or donated. There's a responsibility there to provide the reciprocation to those members of the audience. And so I know this is something that we actively get to practice with each other, to put it diplomatically, as the three of us often participate in a co-stream on Thursday nights, as a kind of friends and family game night where we invite a bunch of people to just play random games with us that are more party oriented. And so how do you navigate not only the random people in your chat but the other streamers, because there's a sense of like too many leaders and not enough followers sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we're all a powerful because I like to, I try to step back on these episodes, and I think Sid does as well. He's pretty chill. He's like, I'm running the audio, I'm super amazing tech guy over here, like he's doing some amazing work for us. And but the reality is, like, when we're in our element, three of us are so much like, hey, look at me, I'm the leader. Hey, look at me, I have things to say. I'm the big person talking right now.
I don't know what you're
talking
talking about.
Talking right now.
I know this is the Zealous show. What are you talking about?
What are you? What? No, this is supposed to be all three of us. It's supposed to be all three of us.
Well, and it's a little easier in this environment, right?
Yeah.
As much as we really need to work and develop on that, and get even better at it, I still notice we're still a lot better at it now than we are on those Thursday night streams.
Well, so
Thursday nights for me, I was like, I no holds bars. I'm just
yeah.
That's how we are.
It really is. I think that's part of the charm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Thursdays. I'm just telling you, it's a great example of failing at that.
One thing I do, like, just to touch on the subject of, like, talking over each other and stuff like that, I try to treat this as much as a radio show as possible. So I listen to, well, I haven't, not lately, I've been listening to some D&D podcasts, which also help too. I listen to a lot of talk radio, and like I said, the D&D podcasts. And the D&D podcast that I listen to is called Not Another D&D Podcast, and it's run by some people who are part of College Humor, and so they're all comedians and stuff, and writers and stuff like that. So their D&D campaign can get a little rowdy, just like ours. Well, not our D&D, but our chatter can get rowdy. But they do have there are some times where they clash and they're all making jokes at the same time. But for the majority of the most part, they know how to get their point across one by one. Without overpowering the other ones, and it's a good thing to listen to and just try to imitate. And that's what I try to imitate too. Is like I don't really speak up until I really have something to say, and I just trying to find those key times when to interject and those in between pauses and stuff. And I'm looking for that. So, which it's interesting because when I'm listening to the D&D podcast, when I'm coming home from work and going to work, it's too as well. But mostly when I'm coming home from work and I'm listening to the podcast, I try to activate my Google Assistant, and it's hard to because they're talking in the middle of it, and I'm looking for that in between. That it's a good exercise to try to talk to your Google Assistant or one of your whatever assistant you use, Siri or whatever, and try to talk in between a podcast and get your word in edgewise so it can actually hear you.
Valid point. Maybe a method of practice I could try to pick up.
An inadvertent method of practice that I came up with and I just realized that I'm doing. I'm like, okay. No. Oh, darn. Yeah.
All right. So was there any other interjections or any other thoughts that y'all had of things that we could try to push to be a little bit better on during the podcast? Was there anything there that you guys had in mind that you wanted to bring up?
I think we need to eat more on stream and talk with a mouth full.
Do the quality content. Trying to cram a Jersey Mike sub into my mouth while having a discussion.
Oh yes, the gargantuan into your mouth.
Well, I think one of the things we're already working on is we're putting in some concentrated effort to plan as far ahead of time as we can. We're already coming up with solid episode ideas that when we get down to the research and the planning, there's not going to be as much effort put into like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And more effort in, all right, I need to figure out this, and this because these are a part of this topic. And having those solid goals, I think, will ultimately resolve some of our weaknesses as a show. And
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we can probably touch on the subject of putting our pets into other places where they're not screaming at me. I'm sorry.
I get you.
No, it's fine. Well, like I said, see, that's the thing. It's like I have the dogs, and they really don't give two rats patoots on what I'm doing when they decide to start barking because nobody's at the front door. Nobody's ever at the front door, but they're going to be over there. Kep helps out. She helps out quite a bit. She tries to hold on and keep the dogs calm and all that stuff. But there's definitely times that they freak the heck out.
Yeah, my cat does the same thing.
Yeah, Bigsby not so much. Bigsby usually during the podcast is being pretty chill. Like right now, he's just flopped out taking a nap. But yeah, I mean, there's some things that it's how do we deal with, and that's something we could look at for the future too, with how do we handle when it comes time to mix this, which we've got a bot right now that potentially is going to help us out, maybe be able to isolate certain parts of dialogue if somebody's dogs do start going ballistic. When we actually release a podcast, we can isolate and just remove that track for a moment.
So that leads into kind of one of the next bullet points of like some of the goals for the podcast. And one of my goals personally, as the person who handles uploads to YouTube, is to increase the quality of the content that we're releasing for replay later on. I love what we do here on Twitch, but seeing the stuff that we're putting on YouTube that people are finding later increase in its quality as well. So one of the things we'll be working on is I've been introduced by Sid, a lovely bot that is currently recording our audio on separate tracks for us. And so that's going to permit a lot of versatility for
Flexibility.
editing.
Yes.
Flexibility. Yeah. Flexibility for editing and preparing. And like Zello said, later on, be able to cut out the dog. And then we don't comment on it. So that's easier to edit out the, you know.
It's like the idea, like they watch the video and it's like me turning around, shut up, shut up. But there's there's absolute
Nothing.
silence.
He's just
You
screaming.
two are sitting here wide-eyed, like, what the hell's going on?
And then, but that
Nothing's
opens up a.
And now you woke up the dogs. Oh no. The demonstration streaming has woken up a live problem now. Both of them are like, we didn't do anything. Why are you yelling at us? Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, those are some good things to work on, you know. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep the inside jokes as few as possible as well, unless they're, you know, relative jokes that are out and about. So, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bethesda and CD Projekt Red and those type of things.
Right. Now, memes like that I think are fine.
Yeah,
you know, memes like that I think are fine. But you know, trying to cut back on being like in a discussion about the topic at hand, and like the word "strong" comes up, and we're like, you know, Cage is pretty strong. You know, like that's a way inside joke amongst friends, and unfortunately, like I said, I've got a habit of leaning on those too. So I need to, for again, a lot of that's for me personally. Of you know, remember this shit, fellows.
Kage just woke up.
I mean, I'm pretty strong.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's my last inside joke. Okay.
All right.
Moments like those, saving them for after intermission so that we stick to this method of putting the meat of our content before intermission and then having a little bit more loose and fun after.
Now we have been going pretty hard for about an hour now, and we've got one more big discussion to go. So to keep fans who are with us on the live part of the show interested, let's have a brief intermission where we'll talk about the benefits and excitement that is going to be in early February. That's right, an event called TrollCon that you can now sign up for.
What?
TrollCon? Tell me more.
Well, we will right after the break.
Bye.
So, bye-bye. I didn't mean to spring that on you suddenly, but bye.
Oh,
We'll
no.
be back in a minute.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Now it's showtime, folks, and you can be sure it's the best show in town. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. It's time to stretch and fetch. See what's cooking at our refreshment counter. You'll find your favorite foods and beverages, plus many new goodies to tempt your appetite and add to your evening's pleasure. Everything's the finest quality. So treat yourself now. 9 minutes to go to showtime. Popcorn, rich with hot melted butter. All kinds of candy. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. Minutes to go to showtime.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar. Like soft drinks, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Seven minutes to go to showtime. Hot popcorn, just pop. Fresh roasted peanuts. How about a pizza? None better anywhere. Sizzling hamburgers grilled to your taste. We've a large assortment of freshly made sandwiches. To go to showtime.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white coffee material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn? Shall I wrap that for you, sir?
Oh, that's all right. My saucer's just outside.
They come from miles to enjoy our intermission.
To go.
Hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the goodies machine. The machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at a snack bar just waiting for you.
To go to showtime.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
There, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Ethan, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks,
Popcorn? Ice cream? Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
The crowds are thinning out at the snack bar, folks, and there are still 3 minutes till showtime. You can easily make it for something that'll just hit the spot. How about it? Don't waste a second of refreshment time. You'll find such an appetizing assortment of refreshments at the snack bar, you won't be able to decide what to ask for first. All of your snack bar favorites are there, including fresh peanuts, hot popcorn, and candy of all kinds. And believe us, you've never eaten better hot dogs, crisper French fries, or more delicious buttered popcorn. Minutes to go to the snack bar for a quick refresher before showtime. No crowds to buck, just go get it. You'll be sorry you missed your chance to enjoy some of the many tempting goodies waiting for you. Stretch your legs now while the stretching's good. There's still time to get a mouth-watering hot dog, a sparkling ice-cold soda, assorted flavors of ice cream, all kinds of candy, the most delicious steaming hot coffee you ever drank, and freshly popped popcorn piping hot. Make a beeline for the snack bar right now to quench your thirst. One minute left to top off the evening with a treat from our snack bar. Still time if you hurry. Last call for refreshments, folks. Go right this second to get something good to eat and drink to enjoy now or during the rest of the show. The finest quality ingredients are in the fixins of the delicious foods you'll find waiting to tempt your appetite at the snack bar. Extra special good hamburgers, wonderful donuts, ice-cold thirst-quenching drinks. Pizza generously sliced, steaming hot, fresh coffee, ice cream in many flavors.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Des, did you guys have a good break there? Good 10-minute break?
Wait, we were on break?
Yeah.
I was just talking this whole time. No one heard me? What the?
No, not a single person. Not at all.
Yeah, I got me some water.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. I managed to finish up my my rendition of the Mona Lisa. Yeah. Actually, I got to put just my last finishing touch here. There we go. And boom, look at that. See, perfect. There we go.
My lord.
I like your interpretation where now she has legs in the image.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a very liberal view of the Mona Lisa.
You know,
Very
originally,
liberal.
the original Mona Lisa, I had no idea if she had legs or not, but thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah. You just couldn't see it because it was below the part that he painted.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
So we have big news, everybody.
That's
big
right.
news.
That is right, everybody.
Everybody?
You have heard us joke around about TrollCon 2022. We started kind of talking about it, and for those of y'all in chat, why don't you take a look? We just posted a link to where you can sign up to TrollCon 2022, February 5th through I forgot. Is it the 8th?
It is February 2nd through the 5th.
2nd through Jesus Christ, I was off.
Samsonite, Zealous. Samsonite. You were way off.
Oh my God. Yep, February 2nd through the 5th, where we are actually going to have an official TrollCon. You guys can sign up. We're going to be down in
Unofficial.
Orlando, Florida. We're going to be spending 2 days in Universal Studios and have 2 other days full of romping around, resting, and just starting playing around in the Orlando area. So make sure if you're going to go to sign up. It's free to, again, this isn't anything we're charging. It's very unofficial. It's not like we're going to have a hotel or anything. But what we do have is an itinerary posted below the sign up where you guys can see what our current plans are for those days, so that you guys can get a chance to hang out with Sid, Des, and I as we go out and enjoy some IRL fun in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
And of course,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I have the I have the impromptu itinerary up. These are subject to change. Nothing is final yet, but yeah, I have it up on the screen here.
Yep. So let's go over some of those while folks are taking a look at it. Also, we need to catch up on chat here real quick. Let's see, Titch. They have Halloween Oreos with black orange icing. That sounds delicious.
Ooh.
Let's see. Don't have a need for snacks, but Deborah wants to is trying not to take a nap. That's a losing battle for me. There's always nap time. First week of February is easier to remember. Probably is, Cage. I should have said that instead of trying to get the dates and messing it up. Titchery, do you have to sign up? Probably not. But yeah, so our plan for these days, the itinerary that we have, and since we're kind of in the second half here again, Des and Sid, feel free to kind of jump in and have some fun with us. Is day one, February 2nd, is going to be Universal, with the intention of us spending a good amount of time in Harry Potter world. That includes going out and getting an Ollivander's wand. Lunch is free range. Do whatever you want. Hang out with whoever you want, as we're all going to try to find sources of food. Then some more Harry Potter, and I forget what the Exploratorium is.
It was just a fancy way of saying exploring.
Okay. We are going to have we do plan on trying out some voodoo donuts, some of the most wild and delicious donuts on the planet, from what I understand. And if you actually download the Universal app, you can pre-order your voodoo donuts to be there when you arrive. We are also planning some sort of scavenger hunt, of which
no idea how that's going to work.
Yeah. I think Des is pumped about that one.
Des is in charge of the scavenger hunt, and you can win fabulous prizes.
Like this amazing shout out. Your name here on Stream.
Your name here.
Mind you, that said in the park, not live on stream, just so we can be clear.
No, that's a different prize.
Oh, goodness.
Including, but not limited to, some buttons, like pinback buttons. You'll have the opportunity to win some kind of lanyard.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly stickers. Truly amazing.
Now, also something else we're recommending, if you are committing to go, if you're going to be getting your own this is getting your own travel, getting your own hotel, finding your own place to stay while you're out there. If you are planning on going, make sure you order your passes online and get them early so that you can just go in and pick them up at the will call. The park day is about going to be, from what we're looking at right now on the Universal website, 2-day park pass is going to be about, is it 140 per person or 140 per day?
It was 140 for the 2-day pass. The last I checked the numbers, it is subject to some fluctuation, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the last we double checked those numbers to get the 2-day pass was 140.
Yep. So again, order early. Also, make sure, again, if you stay in a hotel or you stay in an Airbnb, make sure you guys take care of that ahead of time. If you're considering Airbnb, one thing to definitely keep a lookout for, especially in the Orlando area is to make sure that if you're driving, that your location has parking. There's a lot of Airbnbs that, at least from my personal experience of booking them when I've been in Orlando, don't necessarily always have parking included in the stay. So that's something to keep an eye on if you're planning on driving down. Of course, if you're Ubering, it doesn't matter. All right, day 2. Again, we're planning on basically parks are open at 9 a.m. We're going to go down for Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, the Marvel area. Try to hit all that on the second day.
For those of you who don't know, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios are right next to each other, so don't worry about having to go like in Disney World where you have to go from park to park to park.
Yeah,
they're literally connected to each other, so it's not a big huge detour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then then again, lunch free range again. Just kind of do whatever you want. And then that evening, our goal is to get in on the karaoke Rising Stars. This is where you're going to be doing your song with a live band. Sid, from your experience, how did the reservation or the booking for that go again?
I tried to reserve. They wouldn't do it. But as long as you're there, like when they open up, it was kind of first come first serve type thing. So
Okay.
I'll have to double check for like large parties because we didn't have a large party at the same time. Or when we tried to do, we had like maybe 6 people, but maybe less than that. But yeah, I mean, during that time, we'll see if we can get an actual reserve table. If not, it's just show up and then we'll just tell them how many people are coming and they'll give us a table. We when we got there last time, we got there pretty early and it was kind of free range of wherever we wanted to go. There was a lot of empty tables there. From what I understand is they do have a lot of regulars that go there. So they may play favorites. I don't know. But that's a thing that a lot of like on the reviews that they're concerned about, because they play favorites for the people who come there like all the time. So, but I mean, we shouldn't have a problem getting a table.
Now, can we also register for the songs online too?
No, that is all in store or whatever.
Okay.
In house. They'll send that, but I wish I saved. I didn't have. I used to have the link for the list, like the whole song list, but I don't have it anymore. If I can find it again, I'll post that. And you can look at the songs ahead of time.
Okay. So yeah. So again, chat again, a great, and everyone listening at home, I forgot that we're doing this in other mediums. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's going to be part of the play. And again, if you come out, you don't have to sing karaoke, but
Nope.
but I know there's some of our community that definitely want to, and will probably have a great time doing so. Let's see. Day 3 right now is since we're kind of planning on the karaoke Rising Stars being like a showpiece ending of the night. And
it is a food and bar, so you can order drinks and food. So
sweet
there too. The drinks I think the drinks were a little bit watered down, so just be aware of that.
Okay. Day 3 is going to be kind of a post park recovery day. So it's going to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit more mellow. Right now, it's just, a brunch breakfast around about 10 a.m. The location to be determined. From there, we've got to go visit the Orlando Aquarium at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And then having dinner at Cloak and Dagger, which is a tabletop board game kind of restaurant and bar. They are changing locations right now. So that is something that I think they're planning on doing in the next couple of months. But keep in mind that plan, if they haven't reopened by February, that might be something we need to shift our understanding and plan on as well. And again, these are all more or less these aren't set in stone just yet.
Right.
But as we get closer, we'll come up with more concrete, and we may think of other things, other events or activities to do during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Finger painting
then-
with Des. Yay!
Yeah. And finally, on the final day right now, we have lunch at a Dave & Buster's, which will give us a chance to play video games, have a billiards tournament, which nobody really, guys didn't know this, but my pool name is Lefty 9-Ball. So just to give you guys fair warning there. And then last but not least, we're going to finish up TrollCon with a dinner at the fancy ramen shop Susuru, which Sid and I have been to a couple times together, and it is freaking delicious.
Wait, you're Lefty 9-Ball?
Yeah. You didn't know my name?
I'm Rackham
You didn't know?
Pouchball.
You're Racking Pouchball?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Good to meet you, Racking Pouchball. I was impressed with the tournament of 1995.
Yeah.
Where it's well known that Racking Pouchball was going to try to shoot over the 2-ball to get sink the last stripe in to win, but unfortunately, you ended up just shooting it and landed in your server's pouch.
Well, exactly. That is how I got the name, but I never claimed to be a really good billiards player. I just can rack them really well.
I love my wife's response. Lefty 9-Ball? Really? Of course, Deborah in the chat's like, don't. My cue sticks they've been packed away for years. Deborah, you're gonna have to unpack them when you come out to TrollCon.
Oh, she's gonna be a hustler.
Yeah. You're gonna have to reawaken that part of your life that you've kept packed away for so long.
Gator don't want that. It's gonna be a Gator flashback.
Kep, it's not that I don't own my own cue stick. It's just I don't need one. Like any stick implement in my hand will allow me to dominate a billiards table. That's all there is.
He's the Keanu Reeves of billiards. He just uses a fork or a pen.
Yeah, it just works.
It just works. He's the Todd Howard of billiards.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We may add, like I said, some other events and things from there to the last 2 days But that is it. Again, if let's have that let's get that link back in chat. Make sure you guys go check out the TrollCon 2022 invitation. It's in chat. It's also on our Discord, Streamer and Troll as well. Make sure you guys sign up. Let us know how many people are going to be here, because as we get much closer to the date, we're definitely going to need to know how many people we have, so that if you want to come out to some of these events, we try to do what we can to make sure we have enough tables and enough seating for everybody who's planning on coming out.
Within the itinerary, there is a Google Doc form for you to click and fill out. This will help a great deal. Just as a reminder, we're not going to share this information that you fill out with anyone else at all. It's really just for us to help with ease of communication and organizing some of these events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless they offer me a lot of money.
A lot.
There's got to be a lot, though, so don't worry.
Yeah. Betrayal is very expensive.
10, 15 bucks max.
$10 in a dirty shoe. Well, I do believe I will give you that information. Oh my goodness. So again, TrollCon, real thing. We've joked about it. We've alluded to it. And it is becoming a real thing in our near future. We'd love to hang out with you guys. So again, make sure if you get a chance, go there, sign up, and we'd love to see you out in Orlando or in the first week of February.
Just like the Xbox refrigerator, it was a meme. Now it's real.
Exactly. All right, so let's get this second half Again, TrollCon was kind of on the first half. I figured it was time for us to take a little refresher before we got into it. Now we're after the intermission. We're going to go to our nearly final segment. So this is going to be what we're going to do is, because I know all of us have had a very sporadic schedule for streams here recently. Streamer and Troll has been off for 2 episodes. I think we ended up missing, maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
2 or 3.
Yeah, but we've all kind of been going off. So this is gonna be our chance to sit down and talk a little bit about where each of us are, what we're working on in our own personal life, a little bit of personal life, a little bit of streaming life, and sit down and kind of say, hey, here's what's going on. So on the lineup, we got Des first. All right, oh, that's right. This is our time to talk about live stream and everything in between. Des, why don't you lead us off?
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Des.
Hi, Des.
Hi, Des.
Are you a bot?
No. I'll destroy you. No, so the only thing I really was gonna chat about real quick was like I've been spending a lot of my time doing the day job where I'm a caricaturist, and this has been playing into a level of exhaustion both physically and mentally. I use a lot of creativity to do the caricatures at my job. Means drawing all day for hours. And so this has been having an effect on like my creative juices when it comes to being home, whether it's making this sort of content or just painting or doing other art projects. I have been struggling with my motivation on certain things. There are things I knew I need to be doing and I keep putting them off. This has been really difficult. And then I keep working on things that maybe are less important, but I'm like fixated on doing them.
Oh, do tell.
One of my side projects right now is I'm creating some videos on YouTube and playing around with what it means to be a content creator and just exploring that. But what it means is I've been putting off actual work and tasks that I need to do in my house.
Oh.
Tasks I need to do in my house and things people have literally are going to pay me to do. And I'm just like, what if I don't do those things for like a while?
Then you don't get paid for a while.
I don't get paid. That's a thing. And so I would say that those have been some realities I'm dealing with and that's why I think also that one idea I came up for the episode so enticing, because it's something I'm kind of experiencing right now, is that edge between taking care of myself and letting myself burn out because I have this tendency to push through the exhaustion and keep doing and doing and doing without taking the time I need for myself.
No, I follow you. I think I think that I think that's very valid, because it might be weird of me to say it, but I never, honestly, since it's like, oh, I do caricatures for work, I had never really considered the amount of the creative process that has to kind of pull and use out of your brain. I mean, again, it's a resource per day. We know it. It's spoons, I think, is the way that it's referred to a lot. Yeah. And I never really had an inkling of like how many spoons is that going to take just to get through the day of using that creative energy.
I'm effectively creating upwards of 30 complete drawings of people, portraits, if you will. They're not in the style, of course, in a realistic way, but they are portraits of individuals who I've had to look at their facial features, analyze them for what's going to be the best to draw them. I have to color them, and then I have to like put on my salesman face of like, do you want to add this upgrade, which is usually a mat or a frame or a tube they can carry it in, or these variety of items. And so I'm not only utilizing these tools that I use when I'm trying to make my own art, but also the energy it takes to socialize as well, because I'm usually talking the whole like through the caricature, because otherwise I'm staring at somebody in silence for 10 minutes, and that's always awkward. And so
I've had caricatures done that where it's totally silent. It can get very awkward.
Like I try to ask prompting questions to get them chatting so that we're not just sitting here in dead silence. And so like I'm utilizing and draining these resources while I'm doing these caricatures. So it just feels like it's pulling from a lot of different places. I enjoy the work, and I've really appreciated how much better I've gotten at these skills because of the job. But it is very exhausting.
Now, I mean, it's just a question. I don't know the legality of it, but have you looked into trying to stream while you're working?
I believe, based on what I've read, it would be against company policy.
Like even if you focus like not even on like have the camera not on them, but on like on you and like working on the drawing that you're working on.
I don't think it would necessarily be against policy then. Like if it's just like capturing the drawing and I don't intend to use the audio later on or anything. Ask yourself if that would be feasible if you were working any retail job, really. Like there's an amount of like so many things I have to be doing otherwise that the actual like trying to pay attention to like where my phone is, because my phone's gonna be what would record, right?
Right.
Something that potentially could get in my way onto the easel in an environment that is. So I know physically what I would do, like how I would set it up, I think, to make that happen. But I just, I believe that would be really difficult to.
What if you did your setup kind of like, so there's a YouTube guy that works at Subway, and basically he has like a body cam that's on while he's working, and he just records himself making sandwiches all day. And then his actual content, his show, is just him talking about topics, things, news, or whatever over that content. So I was thinking, what if you just, like had a tripod with your phone or whatever, kind of over the shoulder as you're doing the painting, and then you can just do your the voice and do it like a speed painting, except it's multiple paintings throughout the day with the in between spots cut out.
I appreciate the ideas behind this. I really do. I think they're good. I think that it also triggers an amount of anxiety in me, because the reality is of doing something like that is I've got to tell people why I'm doing it. They're going to ask questions. Some people are going to get angry and make sure like I'm not on that camera, am I? And so like there's a lot of social interactions I would be setting myself up for that have a high potential for stress.
It's understandable.
And one of the personal things I have really been working on the last few months is bringing down my stress levels and my anxiety. I have worked really, really hard to change the thought patterns in my mind of how I approach certain things. I've worked really diligently with the way that I fixate on I'm sorry, I slowed down while I'm trying to figure out the words to say. The way I fixate on issues in these things, and some of that is avoiding what I know is a trigger for me in those regards. I'm going to use the word trigger because I can't think of anything else other than it's like putting yourself in a room of chocolate cake and expecting not to eat it.
Yeah. Here's an idea. Here's an idea, and you've probably thought of this already, possibly. You could treat your job, because you're talking about how keeping a rapport with these people, your customers. And I'm taking the stream element out of it. Well, I'm kind of sort of taking the stream, like the live stream part out of it. But you could treat this as an exercise. Your job part. You can treat this as an exercise for your stream. So being able to keep up a conversation and have these exercises to just keep going and keep talking and while you're working and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's a good workshop for you. And then that will also, you can probably take those exercises and work on your stamina for when you do an actual stream. I mean, I'm not saying doing an 8-hour job stream. But just getting those longer hours, maybe to the 2 to 3 hour mark or something like that for when you do stream.
I would say where it also has the benefit, I don't know if others experience this. They probably do. Like, I'm not saying I'm a unique snowflake and I'm the only one who has these experiences. Um, but one of the things that I have been working on, like I said, I'm trying to ask probing questions and stuff, but I'm trying to do that not just during what I consider the easier part of the caricature process, but the one where I tend to like tunnel vision. And this tunnel vision can cause me some issues because one, I will stop talking to anybody because I am just so into what I'm doing. Like that's what I'm doing in that moment. Like this is who I am. I'm this person doing this thing. And working on talking through that and letting that process happen naturally without closing myself off, because that has been an issue, not just like with carrying on conversation, but I am so zoned in. I haven't noticed there are like 5 people around me hovering. And at first you're like, oh, this is good. You can work through being stared at. Yes, until you realize you haven't told these 5 customers that actually I'm going on break after this person. And so I can't help you. And you've been standing here for 10 minutes for no reason.
Oh no. Okay.
And these are real issues that have come up where I'm just so unaware of everything going on around me because I've just zoned in so hard.
Hey, Zealous.
But that's part of yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but that's got to be part of just getting into the flow state, though.
True. Zealous. I think I know what I'm gonna get Des for Christmas.
What's that?
I'm gonna give her a marquee sign that says "Going on break," so she can put up on her thing. Just going in break in 5 minutes or so.
Yeah,
I've legitimately thought about printing something out and laminating it and taking it with me to work to put on.
No, we'll just have a scrolling marquee.
Get a chalkboard.
It's just a scrolling marquee. Scrolling. No, it's got a flash. It's going to be in their face.
On break after this picture.
Yeah. Totally going to look for one of those.
I think it sounds like a fun idea.
If I can't find one of those, I'm going to do the one. I'm going to do the one where you put it on the back of your car and it's a hand. It's a hand, and then it just it comes down and just it's a middle finger.
Probably a few customers.
I've seen that one. I know it exists.
But no, I get where you're coming from. I could definitely see how that would be very disconcerting and just be like, oh shit, there's so many people around us. But yeah, but again, that's also, but like I said, that's got to be like part of the condition of getting into the flow state, though, of you're in the zone, and that's part of doing art and other creative endeavors. True. You know, it's just like when you're having a good stream and you're talking, you're playing, and then you're like, it's been 5 hours. Holy cow. Excuse me.
There's the one thing about being in the zone too, like all time just kind of slows down for you, doesn't it? And you're just hyper focused on that one point, and time does. It's kind of good and bad at the same thing because time goes by faster, and then you get to go home, right? But also, you're just totally blocked out everything else around you, and that's the bad part of it. But yeah.
Speaking of time, like one of the things I've been working on also is getting faster, which is going to be a surprise to at least Zealous, I know, who thinks of me as somebody who does art like fast. Like I knock it out. But like with these caricatures, I have to go faster and I need to simplify my process even further than I have at home, because what I keep catching myself doing, because if I am in this flow and this just I'm here doing this, I start to layer the colors in such a way, like I'm trying to like really capture the skin tone of people when that is not a good caricature. Like it's a fine drawing, and it's not like anybody's gonna complain if the skin tone's closer to their real skin tone, but the reality is I need to imply their skin tone. I don't need to fully capture, like, hold on, you got a little bit of like red there, but then that's kind of a yellow ochre, so I'm gonna like get in there and like add the shading, and like I start to do it in such a way that I would do if I were home and I were like painting or something, rather than sticking to those more simplistic colors.
Well, that's again, that's like the whole thing with caricature is it's more about it, the implied and
Interpretation.
exaggeration
Mm-hmm.
than it is the photo correct.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time like letting go of what because the thing is, I don't even. It's really weird because I don't even color exactly what I see when I'm painting anyway. Like because I have to also stop this process, right? Like, because if I were painting, I don't know, a picture of said, I'd be bringing in some violets and some like some dark ultramarines just because I think it would look cool. Because like right now I'm seeing his studio lighting, and that's immediately like popping in my head, and I really want to lean towards these impossible colors to really highlight an image, but I can't do that.
No, that's not what the customer wants. No.
I can't do that. That's not what I'm there to do. And it's personally frustrating. And I think also having that battle all day in my mind where that's what I would want to do creatively at home. And then having to be like, no, I have to do it this way. And then by the time I get home, I'm so tired.
Yeah, that the act of doing what you're doing is just not there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'll make a segue of that into the what's been going on, the Zelos update of how things are going, if that makes sense. On mine, I think I put the title down there. How does Zelos manage stress, work stress, streaming, and being a sugar addict, as well as adding travel in? Well, the answer is not well at all. So for those of y'all that don't know,
Sorry.
I have been one, I've got my own business. I got a bowling center I own and operate, and streaming after that is hard enough a lot of the times, since most of my job is just talking and being personal to people. Sometimes, there is planning of events or making sure that we're aware of when things are happening, how they're happening, trying to talk people into fundraisers, trying to talk into people joining leagues. There's a whole lot of that, but almost 90% of the job is just being social with the people who are in front of me, for whatever that reason may be. Which makes it, when I come on the stream, the flow of talk, the flow of thought, talking, all that stuff is just second nature to me. It's why I monologue so much. Is I'm just kind of used to it from work. But it doesn't mean, like you were talking, Des, there's only so much gas in the tank. And it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily always going to come off of job number one, the bowling center, come home and be ready to stream. There's a lot of days that I don't feel like I have that. Don't feel like I have that. So I miss a lot of streams. But we've talked before about the importance of just streaming. That's why when I am home right now, I'm trying to make a concerted effort to stream more, even if it's in the morning before my actual workday starts, or if it's in the evening after everything's over, trying to do it more as I can. But we do need to think. No, he hasn't. Titch, we have saved Sid for last. We have saved the best for last. Wahaha. The next part of mine that the thing that's kind of happened though is in the past couple months. Job number 2, where I work as a contractor for one of the major manufacturers in bowling, has started to need me again to do basically what is consulting and training work for them. They sell their equipment to bowling centers. I go and I teach bowling centers how to use this equipment. What's involved with that is a whole lot of travel to different parts of the U.S. Like so far, I've already been. So far, I've already been to Michigan. I've already been to Michigan, Minnesota. I've been in Indianapolis. No, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think that's it for right now. Next week, I've got to go to North Carolina, which I'm probably going to miss family and friends night because I'm going to be driving home the night after training. So it's a lot. Unacceptable. Yeah, I know. But no, I'll still be driving. It's a 4-hour drive. I'll probably get done somewhere around 5:30 or 6 with the training. So I'll be getting home somewhere around about 10 or 11. But all the travel, and then the job is essentially taking all the information in my head and dumping it into someone else's head, like a mother bird feeding her children. Um, it makes it tough for by the time I get done with that to get home, and even then consider streaming because it's using so much, so much more of one trying to keep the person I'm training entertained and educated in such a way that they're going to be able to focus and they're going to keep paying attention, being aware of what their needs are of like, okay, are they unfocused now because they need a break? Are they just bored? Have I monologued too much? Where are we at here as far as identifying their need as a learner and trying to make sure that I'm passing the information on well. So that particular part of the job really makes it where, by the time I'm done with the day, I've literally got little to nothing left. And it's just go back to the hotel room, fall asleep, go get dinner around like 8:00, pop into Discord for an hour, and then go back to sleep. And I think that's been pretty true from the past couple of jobs I've had where I've not where it's been like, hey guys, what's going on? Oh yeah, let's hang out. Nope. Zealous is Betty by time. And then last but not least, I've been trying to get a hold of my diabetes better than I had. I went about 2 or 3 months where I didn't care, and I was just sugar buzzing all the time and crashing hard, and really letting down a lot of the folks around me.
It's not a good feeling, is it?
No, especially the emotional part where it's just like, again, we've had stuff here with Streamer Troll. What's part of the delay? Zelos was fucked up on sugar and wasn't really focused on anything at all, and anything asked of him went from one ear out the other, which happens anyway, honestly, just in a much higher stakes way. And so part of that, part of this delay, or a large part of this delay has been, I feel is personally my fault on that. Again, I apologize to you guys for that.
No, I think we did need the break. I think it did. I think it did us all well. So it's no one's fault.
But the good news is I'm getting my sugar. My sugar has been more under control than it has been. And it's made me feel a lot more grounded, a lot more aware of everyone and what's going on around me. It's made me be able to deal with the stress of job 1, job 2, and then trying to stream as I can. So again, it's it's been going wild in good ways. Like I said, I like work. I like being very, very busy. I like hanging out with everybody here on Streamer and Troll, and also chat as well. But we're going to try to get a little more grounded with it and see what we can do to maybe increase some road streams and all that kind of good stuff. Sorry that I shouldn't say sorry because I always monologue, but that's the end of my monologue. Oh man.
I read an article talking about you downloading stuff from your brain to the customer's brain. I read an article that was it Microsoft? I can't remember. Somebody wants to download a human brain's information all on an SSD.
Yeah.
They're going to attempt to do that. Having physically attempt to do it. So, hey, you never know. Maybe in the near future, you got some Johnny Mnemonic stuff going on for you.
I am ready for the dank cyberpunk future.
So all you have to do is just sit at your house and say, this person needs it. All right. Mail it out. There you go. Just take the information, just mail out the USB to them. Yep.
They just upload and they're like, whoa,
I know everything.
I know how to use the system. Why do I care so much about titties? Sorry.
I don't even know what a Hago is. Why do I know that? Scratch that from.
I work with monsters.
Scratch that from the bottom, please.
Monsters, everybody.
Clear your mind. Focus on the information you want to share. There you go.
What are we talking about?
Your life, yo.
Okay, so I guess, I mean, nothing really. I mean, there's a couple things coming up with me. Totally missed the joke. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Chat. Yeah, that's what we call an inside joke.
Yeah. Again, this is the point to have those. Like I said, this second half, this is the point to.
I mean, if I have to explain it, then the joke is just all over the face.
Yep.
Anyways, what am I doing? So this is getting towards the end of the year. Like I said, did I say it? I can't remember what I said now. Florida. For those of you who know, I live in Florida, and the awareness and trying to control this whole COVID-19 thing got a little bit out of hand. It's coming back under control now, but because of that, it has backed up our hospital tremendously as far as cases that we have to do. So those backed up cases have to be done somehow, somewhere, and so now they're starting to dump on us now, since we had all this time off. They're starting to come back on our schedule and stuff like that. And towards the end of the year, the doctors start trying to hit their quotas. So they're going to be starting to load a lot of cases onto us before the brand new year, and that's normal. That's what happens every year. But because of these backed up cases, probably more so than ever. So that's part of the reason why I haven't been able to stream as much as I'd like to in the past future here. In the past, current past here.
And in the near future.
And in the near future, yes. Thank you. My brain's fried too. So yeah. So and then my coworker. So for those of you who know, I work for neuro navigation in the neuro surgery center. I have a focus. Basically, I'm a glorified IT techie. And my job is to make sure that the doctors have working instruments for this particular job for navigation. It's Stryker Navigation, is GPS for surgery. Mark that down. GPS is like GPS for surgery, yes. So, like, there's only two of me. So there's me and Nick Bullets, who, for those of you who are part of my stream, probably have seen from time to time. I used to play PUBG with him for a while. He's moved on to, like, Tarkov and... what is he playing now? RimWorld. He's really into RimWorld now. So, but he's been taking some business trips, and I've been covering him. So, Titch. So yeah, so that's been going on. So we've been covering each other, working here and there and stuff like that. So, that's going. In between those times, October this month, Zealous is going to be visiting. I'm really excited for that. That's going to be cool. We're going to go get mahi-mahi at a local Asian restaurant.
I can't believe you want to take me there again.
I don't want to go there, dude. It was so bad.
But Cage hasn't experienced it, so I mean...
No, I'm not going to do that to him. No. Look, I did that to you unknowingly, okay? That was a mistake, okay? For those of you who don't, well, that's also another inside joke. That's mahi-mahi stands for octopus because this particular Asian buffet doesn't know how to label their food. Just the long short of it, right? But yeah, so yeah, this October, not next week, not this week, but the following week. It'll be the following weekend. Zealous will be coming into town and we'll be hanging out. I'm gonna try to get some footage with that. We might even live stream. I've got a nice little hookup for live streaming now that we can do. So we can do some stuff here and there. So if you want, if you want to do that,
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, always consent. And Kage will probably be joining us too, right? Yeah, so because he's got to get his Universal Studios pass. Zell's got a. Are you getting the pass too? Or are you just gonna go ahead and?
I already got it. I gotta get the. I gotta get the Halloween nights.
Yeah, I gotta do the Halloween nights as well. The Halloween Horror Nights too. Yeah. As well. And I was figuring I'll probably purchase that when you come down. And I'll just do it there.
I, for one, am devastated. You'll be there without me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on down. I don't know if you.
You just got to quit your job and tell them take this job and shove it and come on down. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
Be fine.
and then when you go back, just beg for your job again.
Made a horrible mistake. I'm sorry for everything I said.
It'll never happen again. Only maybe once or twice each year.
I promise that your pens are not shit pens. I love them very much.
So yeah, that's October. December, Christmas is coming up. I'll probably be working there, working through that. Crazy Lady is coming into town. She's going to be coming into town with her family towards the end of the year, which is, it's going to be okay. You can get off, between Christmas and New Year's. No. But I
remember.
Christmas.
I remember last year talking about the doctors trying to get their quotas. I remember last year it was something ridiculous. Like you had like 4 or 5 days that were like 20 hours each.
I probably did like maybe 150 for 2 weeks or something, like hours. Yeah, 150 hours for 2 weeks. Probably will happen again. Although I've already talked to to Nick, and we're working something out anyways.
Okay.
So I'll probably be able to hang out with Crazy Lady when she comes to visit, and that'll be another Universal visit. Which, by the way, I'll have I've already my pass has already paid for itself, like maybe 3 times over. I've been using that pass like crazy. Plus,
that's good though.
It's also good because it gets me out and about, like to walk around. So that's really good. And then February is TrollCon. So I'll be seeing everybody from TrollCon and doing that. So also,
it's gonna be wild.
Also, my list is a little bit out of order. Also, October, this October, Halloween will be our anniversary. Hold on.
Oh, Sid, you didn't have to go and tell everybody that.
13 years? 14? 13 years? So when we got married, 14 years, good. Okay, I was 1 year off. I have a system on remembering my anniversary. So I proposed on Christmas Eve, and we got married on Halloween. But we couldn't get married in 2007. We couldn't really get married on the day of Halloween because it was a Wednesday during that year. So we had to move it back 3 days. So Halloween, 3 days, the 27th. Remember that. So at 2007, always remember that. So I can factor in, and I always remember my anniversary date because it's on key days. You want a good marriage? You don't want to forget your anniversary. Do it this way.
That might. That's why we have our anniversary date.
Halloween.
No.
Or just on major holidays?
That's how we chose our anniversary date. We were like, we're going to get married on this day so that we'll never forget.
Never forget. And then you forget.
Our anniversary is 11/11. The 11th of November.
Oh, that's cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so it's going to be our anniversary. I don't know what we're doing for our anniversary. I have no idea. Usually for Halloween. What else I'm doing for Halloween? Probably on my stream, I'll be doing several probably makeup streams, and I'm
looking forward to those.
I haven't really figured it out yet, but we'll try to get those in. It's going to be crazy. I'm definitely going to try. I can't promise anything, but I'll definitely try.
During one, I will be painting a portrait of Sid while he's doing his makeup.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
And slowly morphing it as his makeup.
What?
Wait a second. Is it actually gonna be a portrait, or are you just gonna print out his face again like you did in Twitch Things?
Print out a picture of his face and then add the face paint as he's going.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Many moons ago, Chet, before Sid and I were friends, I decided to troll him on Twitch Sings by printing out a picture of his face and then doing a duet with him while wearing his face.
It was... You cut out the eyes, didn't you?
No, I wanted to, and I was told that would be creepy.
Yeah.
So I did not.
Yeah.
I remember this distinctly. Des was like, "Here's the idea. I'm gonna wear his face like a mask," and I was like, "No, you need to put it on a stick. If you wear it as a mask, that's creepy. If you put it on a stick, though, that's just funny."
So we determined his
it was
face on
true.
a stick was the safe option.
It was true. It was true. Yes. So usually I do a large Halloween haunted house Halloween thing. We're probably not going to do it this year, just to be safe. I'll probably pick it up next year. I don't have Facebook anymore, so I can't stream it on Facebook anymore. But I'll figure something out. Maybe YouTube or something like that. I'll do something like that. And currently, I'm addicted to New World, so I've been playing that like nonstop. In fact, it's running in the background on my computer right now. It's gathering resources as we speak.
I was gonna say, is it like Black Desert, where it's like,
No.
play our, you're gonna pay to not play our game.
No, it's not. There's no automated stuff. No,
Okay.
nothing like that.
Okay.
No, I've just been literally playing it while we.
You just got a macro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, folks, any final thoughts? Chat? Any questions from us putting the plans for the show together, to us bearing our hearts and our troubles and our successes with you today? Anything else that we have to go over? Anything else that we want to talk about?
A wise man once told me, "Man who run behind car get exhausted. Man who run in front of car get tired."
Smells like roses. Very good. Very proud of you. Very proud. No.
I take it very to heart.
Oh, God. Chad's like, wow.
What? It's true.
Oh, man. Well, folks, I think this is going to be a good spot to call it. Thank you for joining us this week. For those of you who've been watching at home on YouTube or via podcast, thank you guys for listening. Again, we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you so much for supporting us. We should be doing, oh my gosh, 2 weeks every other week. So in 2 weeks, we should be doing another episode. And
Streamer Troll!
Yep, Streamer Troll. Can't wait to see you
Episode
then.
1, baby!
That's right. Good night, everybody.
Say
We'll
Ridley,
talk
say
to you
Lawson.
soon.
Bye! Say goodbye, Des.
Goodbye, Des.
Hi, Des.
We go!